Hey everyone, welcome to MIRICRS and hi V, how are you?
I'm great. How are you, Lori?
Pretty good. I feel like we're in the eye of the storm right now, and it's a whole lot of news and a whole
hmm
lot of intensity
hmm
and a whole lot of kind of redoing the redoing of the redoing of the redoing, which is what Elon and Trump keep doing. They keep redoing things, they keep making orders, and then they redo them. What a clown show.
hmm
So, total chaos.
hmm
Um, I wanted to just start with naming the 10 Democrats who joined the Republicans to vote to censure Congressman Al Green when
Good
he stood
idea.
just an awful these 10 Democrats, I don't know what planet they're on. Um,
You
but let
know
me
it's decorum. It's decorum and keeping themselves.
yeah, but when the president's not playing by the rules, nobody else should play by the rules. It shouldn't always be the situation that the Dems hold the high moral ground
hmm
and the Republicans do whatever they want. It's
hmm
just so absolutely glaring as a problem. And we'll get into it tonight more. But I did want to say, I'm assuming everybody out there knows what happened when Congressman Al Green stood up during the first State of the Union speech in Congress, in the House, by Donald Trump, and he started protesting,
hmm
holding up his cane and protesting. I mean, this man goes back to
Lovely man.
John. This man
Lovely.
goes back to John Lewis, you
Yeah.
know.
hmm
But it just give me a moment, V, because I want to call out uh, these 10 representatives. California, Amy Barra. Hawaii, Ed Case. California, Jim Costa. New York, Laura Gillen. Connecticut, Jim Himes. Pennsylvania, Chrissy Houlihan. Ohio, Marcy Kaptur. Florida, Jared Moskowitz. Washington, Marie Gluskenkamp. Perez. New York, Tom Scuzzi.
Hmm.
Shame on you. Shame on you. I have to say it. Okay.
Thanks for that.
Yeah, it's it's not okay. We have to stand united.
hmm
And I'm dying to talk to Miracris about Hakim Jeffries tonight as well.
It's the fire is what you're wanting. You want the fire in the Democrats. Yeah. All right. Well, let's call in. Shall we call in?
Yeah.
So it's everyone at home. We're going to call in MIRICRS, their wonderful team of amazing vibrational beings, and they're eager to talk to you and I. Reach up with your minds as a sculpting tool and draw down some beautiful light fields and frequencies to flow them down to the top of your head and around your body. Good. That just gives them easier access to higher consciousness. We are here. We are here with you all and very eager to be here.
Hi, Miracris.
Hi, Lori.
Thanks for being here. Miracris, we have a question from Janet, and she asks, are there beings from beyond who are helping the resistance?
Very much so. Yes. It's more in the having their frequencies out there and sending down through thought and intention, sending down their frequencies that can give you more courage and strength.
It's lovely. And here's an esoteric question. Are there animals or just insects on other planets in the galaxy?
It is an interesting question because animals and insects exist in other planetary systems, but they don't look like your animals and your insects. In fact, they're in some areas they're quite hybrid. There's a combination of what looks a little like an insect, it looks like an animal, but what they do have is like your animals, they have heart and they have belonging and they support. They're masters, if masters is the right term. They support the families. They support the group of beings that they live with, and they support them through understanding and nurturing.
That's beautiful. So do ETs have pets then?
Yes, of course. We like many of the ETs, like us, like sustaining presences around us, and the ETs are like that as well. And the sustaining presences are very like, oh, the sustaining presences are like what we've already spoken of, and yet there are some that have mechanical robot-like pets. You see? That's a
Mm-hmm.
different format for a different society. But if you can imagine it, you can see it and feel it. But everybody wants that harmonizing of attitudes of self-judgment or needing more inspiration. And that's what animals and pets bring.
Interesting. That's beautiful. And I'm assuming these pets are as telepathic as the ETs are.
Oh, yes,
Hmm.
very much so.
Hmm. That's beautiful. Um, Here's one for you. Earth angels. How do we identify people who are earth angels?
We love earth angels. We say that because there are some people that are fully on your planet in blood and flesh and all of that. No, they don't have wings, but they are here as earth angels. And we like to say that Bernie Sanders is one of those. These are
Mm.
beings that support and nurture other beings on your planet. They're living for that. Understand? Not just
Hmm.
nurturing, oh, isn't that sweet? Let's all have a piece of pie. It's not that, is how you can think into the world and make a difference with others, or how you can heal into the world and make a difference for others. They're around. And again, as we say, they don't have wings and so on, but they have a tremendous flow of love, not just for individuals, but for the process of life on your planet. Those are your earth angels, and you have an
Wow.
abundant number of them.
Wow. They're almost like saints.
Yes.
Wow. And I'm turning to a political opposite question that has nothing to do with earth angels. Actually, we'll call them earth devils. Uh, where are all the January 6th insurrectionists? They are awfully quiet.
Well, we want to say that they've been concealed in many ways and they're being muzzled in many ways. You understand they're being convinced not to engage or be involved in some of the rabble on your planet. They want to stay, they're being kind of kept in a group that can be used. And that's fairly unfortunate. You understand that?
Hmm.
It can be used against the changing society.
Hmm. Hmm.
And you'll see them coming out when there are several big changes in the social structure, and you'll see them being brought forward. Now, they're not all muzzled, some of them have already been made free, but some of them are being brought forward when there's a little more rambunctiousness on your planet, in your society, and they'll be
Mm.
used against, what would you call it, against revolutionary people.
Oh, I know there's a big protest coming in March. I think it's March 14th.
Mhm.
It's right around the corner. It's a big one in Washington, D.C. Do you think that that march will remain peaceful?
No, we say, well, there's a possibility, but some are spending time trying to quell the rising venom. But we say at this time it looks like it will not be peaceful. But they will
Mm,
be using the insurrectionists. You'll see them come as a clump.
okay. And will,
And Laura, you must understand that sometimes the violent uprising is important even in a peaceful society. Do you understand that?
Right. It serves a purpose. I
Well,
do.
violence and rage breaks open the fields and the patterns of energy that are in
Mhm.
people, you see. So sometimes you need a good stick to whack a jar open or something. And
Right.
people need to have that disruption that comes through. We're not encouraging violence, but we're saying use it for what it's worth.
Right. 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 For entertainment purposes only, and everyone.
Thank you.
Boy, what a reality TV show this is. So, um, so here's less, here's to the safety of all of the pro-democracy protesters who are out there, putting themselves out there, and hopefully law enforcement will be able to back them up if it does turn ugly with the insurrectionists.
And we're going to add another thing here, which is that pray that the human mind responds graciously to evolution or the awakening. Pray for those people that seem like they have no awakening present in their body mind. They do, but these need to be nudged. So just throw them
Right.
in your prayers as well.
Okay, thank you. And the somebody we really want to nudge right now is Hakim Jeffries, the House Minority Leader. Um, I'm afraid he's just too weak.
Well, the
He's
thing
very
is, he
weak.
doesn't know which way to turn. And he is weak because he's extremely sensitive. He's fairly deep, and we would say he's got an indecision in him. He doesn't want to create disruptive or eruptive problems, which is exactly what he needs to do.
Mhm.
Understand? But
Absolutely.
he's got a finesse or a refinement in him. He's a very nice man. He's just too nice for this situation.
Yeah, he even had told Representative Al Green not to speak, not to stand up and speak. So, and if we remember, one of the things that Hakeem said just last month was, "What do? We have no power." I mean, it's like you're the friggin' leader of the House minority. I
Yes,
mean,
but if you see him as someone who doesn't want to make a fuss and doesn't want to cause problems, then he is without power.
so here's a big question, Mayor Chris. Will he be replaced?
Yes. And we're suggesting here that there are three people. They all look like men at this time, but we're not guaranteeing that part.
Mhm.
However, there are three people going to disrupt the Democratic group enough to have him dislodged and bring in replacement.
Right. And one of the hits I had, and I want to confirm this with you, is it possible that his successor is what is his name? He's the shorter gentleman, African American, has a beard, very close shaven, round face, very out there. He's been out there protesting with the federal workers and being very outspoken.
But he's flanked by some very powerful people as well.
Yeah.
Hmm. Yes, oh he's black, right?
Yes, yes.
And in this case, it's to his advantage, you see.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I'm finding a lot of the African Americans are the ones who are the most outspoken right now.
Well, they've already had a
In
lot
the, I
working
mean,
against them, haven't they?
yes, exactly. And, or people of color, even, AOC, they're really rising stars who are just not taking it. They're much more vocal. So, bless them. My God. Uh, can you get a sense of when that replacement could be coming for Jeffries? Just
We're seeing March is very volatile.
okay.
We're seeing that there will be some skirmish, some difficulties difficulty is an interesting word for anyone who's trying to maintain the status quo.
Yeah.
and they're in the government. And we're seeing in that there's several fracases.
Hmm.
And in that is when you see the ability to transform whoever Hakim Jeffries will get replaced. He will back out. He may choose to back out, in fact.
Mm. It'd be a
And
very
in amongst themselves, there's a decision made about who's going to come up and run things.
fantastic. Yeah, I think that that leadership needs a
Somebody will
change.
say it has to be voted, it has to be this and that. But if they're also looking at Elon Musk and Mr. Trump, nobody had to vote them in. So it's
That,
given a greater leeway to absolutely transplanting some new blood, you see?
that's right. You can't have one side playing by the rules and not the other side. And
But you can
this
see
is,
how an advantage comes dressed funny some days.
yeah, exactly. And not being dressed funny, I just want to confirm something that you had said before and came across my radar recently that Trump in his gastro interest I want to say gastro extraterrestrial problems, but that's what's coming out. Sorry, Tease. Don't mean to pull you into this.
But what's
But
really interesting is his gastrointestinal difficulties. You have to remind yourself, and this will throw a bit more humor into your life as well, that that area of the body with this is where the subconscious from a way back moves in through the this one often calls it through the belly button. But he is dealing with power issues, karmic issues, subconscious issues, issues from past lives, very, very difficult past lives, and so on, through his belly. We say, well, that's appropriate. That's a good filing job. Thank you. And he's
right,
having a terrible time with that. And you know also that there's a tie between that and the way our neurological functions are. So
yes.
he's having a kind of a we would call it a meltdown. It isn't total yet.
Oh, God forbid. That's not total. Oh my God. Well, rumor has it that he's in diapers now.
And he has been for quite a while, a couple of years.
Yeah. So, and that's
Maybe his
partly
past life attraction there is going to take him back to being a baby.
uh, also, yeah. Well, as we know, the gastro is connected to the brain, right?
Yes.
And the brain, if we remember Donald's past life, one of them was King Charles the First, where he was beheaded
Yes.
and
Where
he
he
lost
was.
his head.
But
Is he
before
not
that,
losing?
he was tied up and drugged because he was crazy enough that people are afraid of him.
Yeah. So he's losing his mind once again
Mhm.
as part of this karmic journey that he seems to keep playing over and over and over again. Uh, wow. Mary Chris, I know you always say we're not great on the timeline, but do you think he'll be gone before the summer?
It seems like he's coming to a crunch at the end of March. He already is in a bit of a crunch, but he's going to be in a crunch by the end of March. And we see optimistically that would be just in probably mid-April
Wow.
that he is. But you understand, time is very difficult.
Yeah.
And
And
one
it's
of the
very
things,
changeable.
yes, and you can change it with your own mind.
Exactly.
So if you get into being powerful like that, you know what kind of job you need to do.
Right. And when do you see Musk's departure?
We see also April, May. He comes undone at the beginning of April, which we've spoken of before. His central nervous system is being attacked, and he and Mr. Trump are not going to be getting along by then. And his central nervous system, and as you know, he's brilliant and he's autistic and all these different things, and his nervous system is fraught. And we say that in the judgments, the ensuing judgments that are coming up, and all the rabble that's yelling at him and so on, he's going to be coming undone in a lot of nervous ways. We see him, instead of his normal radiance of confidence and fast moving and so on, he's going to be emitting a kind of a sparky, um, short circuiting of his nervous system. And people will find it
Right.
very difficult to be around him.
Ah,
But when
and
he gets sent away, he will be incarcerated, and then he will be, and partly that's because of a number of people in his society, in your society, that are going to surround him and, yeah, and insist that he be incarcerated. And his
wow,
and he can't, his very, very wealthy supporters release him from his incarceration, but he finds a way, and he's sent away, or he finds a way to be isolated from society, sent a long way away, where he's
wow.
to return for a long, long time, if ever.
What happens to his little boy, X?
He has a number of wives.
Well, yeah, but he has withheld this child for many years from the birth mother in a custody battle that's been going on. She hasn't seen him.
We see him with his mother.
Very good. Very good.
He is a very, very confused little boy.
Yeah, it's 4 years old.
Mhm. Very, very smart, extremely smart.
Yeah, you can see that. Especially when he's telling Donald to shut the fuck up. Oh my God. I thought about that because I do most of my own channeling in the early morning hours. And it was the other morning, 2 mornings ago, I woke up and I went, that was a setup. Elon told, it wasn't that the boy overheard Elon say this on occasion to Donald. It was done to shock and awe, basically. And the hit I got was that Elon told the little boy, and Donald knew it was coming, to say some outlandish things. And part of that is that whole weird deception world that goes on with them. So, anyways, um, anything else we want to cover, Mira Chris?
I think you're seeing the shakedown of some very strident rulership. And this is a revolution, but we want to remind all of you it's an evolution revolution. And we want you all to be looking inside, looking for the truth, looking for the love, looking for support of one another, because there's going to be a shift in this society if enough people do that. There'll be quite a shift. This won't be allowed anymore.
And I want to give a shout out, an award to. We did this a month ago when we were looking at public figures who had an evolutionary turn. And if you remember, Arlene Cannon, who was the judge who voted against Trump on one of many, well, was on a case in particular, and everybody was shocked because she was always voting on his side and she went against him. And I want to give a shout out to Amy Coney Barrett, who also talk about moving into evolution. She just voted, she was one of the Supreme Court justices that sided in on freezing the funds. So, we have to remember that there are people out there who can change and who are changing.
And you made a good point, Lori, which is that if you can't acknowledge that in people, it never gets bigger.
Yeah. Yeah. So blessings
Blessing.
to all those who are on the verge of cracking open and becoming someone new at this time. So good night, Mayor Chris.
Good night. Thank you for the opportunity to meet with yourself and your audiences, and with
Okay.
love.
All right. We'll see you again soon. Bye.